It's a dark, stormy night in the city. It's very quiet and it's pitch black. I start to make slight movements, and I apprehend that I'm in a house with wooden floors that creak with each step I make. I cannot see the walls, but I can see the floor on the top of my feet. I look up. There's a mirror. I see myself standing there. I scream. My teeth suddenly start to fall out of my mouth and onto the floor. Then I stagger awake from the horrors of a passing dream. This is a normal dream for most, but with the same dream, there tends to be different variations, and those variations can mean something absolutely different. This is what I call, or what Sigmund Freud calls, sleep dream analysis theory. To get to know what sleep dream analysis is, you're going to need to know some background information like who created the theory, how did the creator establish the theory, and what are some of their works. And maybe even, are there some other theories about why dreams occur? So let's dive right on into this interesting dream and take a look into the mind of Sigmund Freud. According to Wikipedia, Sigmund Freud was born May 6, 1856, to his mother, Amelia Nathanson, and father, Jacob Freud. Freud was one of 4 siblings in his household, and they all lived in a home in once known as the Austrian Empire. And then they later moved to Vienna in 1860. Freud graduated high school at age 17 and studied psychology and the brain for many years. In 1886, Freud had finally found the dream world he had been waiting for, Martha Boehner's. Martha Boehner's was the granddaughter of a chief rabbi in Hamburg. And after many years of dreaming of Martha, he finally made that dream into reality by marrying her and having 6 children. They all lived in a home in Bergstrasse 19 in Vienna. In 1900, Freud broke ground in psychology by publishing his book, The Interpretation of Dreams. In the book itself, it talks about our mind's energy and how to control it. The book only made $209 and took 8 years to sell 600 copies. But hey, we can't all be dreamers. He created this book after one of his many patients, Anna O., who had hysteria, talked to Freud about her nightmares she had been experiencing. Freud then was able to create and connect a connection between the two from her past long-forgotten traumatic events in her life. This was only the beginning of Freud's developing his sleep dream analysis theory. According to Elena Bradford from livescience.org, she says, Sigmund Freud's theory dreams suggests that dreams represent unconscious desires, thoughts, wish fulfillment, and motivations. According to Freud, people are driven by repressed and unconscious longings. During this time, Freud had developed his theory over and over again, each time sounding more ridiculous than the last. Everyone said Freud had been to assign everything with nonsense. But even though his theory sounded like utter nonsense, he still continued to live as a dreamer in the world of psychology. Freud discovered and taught the unconscious mind and the psychological analytical developments, including denial and repression. His daughter, Anna, who practiced psychoanalytical therapy, says, so in fact, in trying to deny Freud's theories, people are actually affirming them. Well, in reality, we're all dreamers of the unknown and what could be, but other people try to deny us dreamers. So, Marcus West from Marcus West, who from the Society of Analytical Therapy, says he believed there is a different theory that he finds to be more realistic. Carl Jung, a Swiss psychiatrist, who stated he believed that in sleep dream analysis, there were 2 things to factor in dreams. 1, compensation, and 2, to anticipate images of future events, which meant that the dreamer could anticipate those future images and future events. Carl also believed there were 4 different factors to determine what a dream was: disguise, symbols, compensation, and objective and subjective level dreams. 1. Disguise. What disguise? Freud said he believed that our dreams were disguised by our true hidden desires. Jung, on the other hand, he believed that dreams weren't disguised at all, but they had underlying meanings. 2. Symbols. He says that we have symbols in our dreams, whether they didn't really mean he couldn't figure out the true meaning of dreams, but they had underlying truths that you couldn't see right away. 3. Compensation. Jung says that in our minds that, say, in our dreams, if we looked up to somebody, that meant in life, we actually felt superior to them, and our mind was compensating for that fact. 4. Objective and subjective level dreams. In the interpretation of objective level dreams, people would believe that... Okay. That's where I go. In objective level dreams, people don't see the past memory, but the underlying facts that they never saw there before. Whereas subjective level dreams, people they wouldn't see the past memory, but they would see the past memory as an interpretation of an external situation. I got it. Even though we'll never be able to fully, truly understand the meaning of dreams, we do know one thing. We know who created the theory is none other Sigmund Freud, as well as how he established his theory and some of his work. Not to mention, we also learned about Carl Jung's take on dream theory. We might never fully be able to understand or know what... we might never be able to fully understand or know what our mind is fully comprehending. But with this new information, you might be able to take a new perspective on that dream you had about flying a mattress in Walmart. Nonetheless, the best information I can give you and leave you with is every great dream begins with a dreamer.